Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you a side project I recently published. No, this is not gonna be a marketing video, but in this video, I'm just gonna share that what was my process. The intention behind this video is so that few of you can get motivated and try to publish your side projects. What I will do is I will start with the demo of my side project, what I built. Then I will talk about the problems I used to have, and then how I actually changed my whole framework of working on side projects. And finally, I will show you that. So right now in front of your screen, this is a website. The idea for me was that whenever I work on side projects or any web project, I need placeholder image, dummy images basically. So I have to go on Google and find for the perfect size what I'm looking for. So I thought, why don't I create an application where I can select the width and the height and just get the URL and use in my project. So if I will hit this URL, I will get that image, and as well as I can change the text. So I can say hello, I can change the font size, font style, I can change the font family and color and text color, and again I can get this image. And if I want to download, these images also ready for download. So idea was just very simple, a web application where I can put width and height and a dummy image should get created and I can download it. But now if you will see on right now, I have entered the text, font size selection, font style selection, font family selection, box color, text color, and as well as copy URL. So these are the features which I didn't thought of, but when I started working on this idea, these ideas started coming. So now I'm gonna talk about the first problem. As you can figure it out, the idea was just to have custom width and height and download image. But the moment I start working on it, there were other 10 new requirements came in. So where I was thinking it is just a weekend project, it was not. It was of many days of project. Having said that, because I have a full-time job also, I'm not gonna challenge anyone. Yes, you can finish this project in on a weekend or also. That's a good thing. But in my case, time, I was not privileged with the time, I would say that. So adding more and more requirements means I need more time. So now let's talk about the second problem. Whenever I used to think about an idea, the first thing I used to do is spend a lot of time in thinking about the best and the perfect domain and purchase that. And after weeks are passing, but I'm not able to finish my side project and slowly losing the motivation, and then the stage come when I absolutely used to forget that there was a side project I was working on for which I purchased a domain. Every year when that auto payment used to go off my domains, at that time it used to come in my email and I used to feel very guilty because I am not able to commit to my side project. So what I did few years back, I decided I'm not gonna purchase any domain name unless and until my project is 100% ready. And when I say 100%, that's the next thing, that's the next problem. There is never 100% because you will always keep chasing the perfect UI, perfect code, you want to add one more feature and all that. Right now if you will look, I don't even have a fancy logo, it's just a placeholder image. Even the UI is not so fancy. The reason is because I first want to finish my uh, project, and then later on I can work on these things. If I will wait for the perfect logo, perfect UI, perfect code, then I won't be able to do the progress. So first make the things, then make it good, then make it better, and then the perfect. So right now my phase is where I'm making the things. So that's the third problem. So let me revise. First is the estimation. You think about only one or two things, but when you start working, the other 10 things are getting added. Second is domain. Domain purchase is not the first thing we should be doing. Third thing is, do not chase behind the perfect stuff like perfect UI, perfect code. No. And the last thing is, do not look for the advices and seek for validation. I have lost many good ideas because I was looking for my friends or my network validations and their advices. Unless and until you are not building a SaaS product, I would say do not bother to ask anyone advice or validation, at least in the first stage. Just build the product, build the application, build the app, show it to the people, and then you can move ahead. In fact, I would say if you are even a startup, you have an idea of a startup or a SaaS product, just go ahead and build it. It's you who wanted to do it. And another one thing I also wanted to add, the problem is running behind the latest trends and tools. When I started this project, if I would have decided that I will be learning Python, which I don't know, and I will build this product by Python, I will end up just learning Python. I won't be able to finish it. So here the main thing is why you are building your side project is very, very important. So when I started this, the my why was that my problem is I want an app where I can just go put width and height and get a dummy image. That's it. This was my why. There was a problem and I wanted a solution, and it was for me. So I didn't even bother to go to anyone to ask for validation and sequence. Though there was one of my friend who really wanted to, when I was working on it, my friend actually saw this and he was like, oh yeah, it is great, I will also use it. So that is also plus one, but it's not like that was my only motivation, right? But I built it for myself. So my why was clear. Second, I didn't bought any domain name. Third, I went ahead with the languages I already know, JavaScript, so I built it in Next.js. So that's it. And let's talk about the framework. So let me go back to my VS Code. I don't do any fancy thing. This is for me. I don't like a lot of tools involved in a project unless and until I am at that stage where the tools are very, very important. Right now I'm just starting my project. So what I do, instead of Jira or anything, I just make a todo.md file in my project, and what I do is I start writing what all things I require. So for example, set up Next.js, Tailwind CSS, create UI, 2 columns should be there, form elements should be there, hard code value to generate image, make the image generation, make the URL generation. So this URL generation came on later. It was only first download image. This logo, privacy policy, code of conduct, about us, these all things came later. Add buttons to download image and URL copy, this also came in later. So initially when I started, it was just till here, that's it. And when I started working, now I have deleted few things I was adding here. Like I used to add like font style, I want font family, I want text color, I want box color. So now the reason of writing everything, and whenever a new feature is coming, documenting that, so that I can see the scope, that how much work is there. And instead of saying it just a one weekend project, I can see by myself that how many days or weekends I needed for this. So that estimation issue will get sorted once you start writing, and all the features are coming, you start writing it here. So this actually helped me a lot to understand the scope of the work. Now next thing what I used to do is I used to divide into phase 1 and phase 2. I want to talk about the phase 1. For me, phase 1 is that what are the minimum features I required to publish this project. So for me, the minimum requirement was this, what you are looking right now, that I should be able to add width, height, text, font size, font style, all this, and able to copy the URL and download the image. This was my minimum requirement for my phase 1. Now what is not in the phase 1? Like doing SEO, light and dark mode. If you will see, the URL is pretty long right now. I need to optimize this. So these are the things right now was not in the phase 1, because I wanted to work on my idea first, and then I wanted to go into the perfect state. So you can see that in phase 1 I have put everything. Now one more thing I want to add, this show notification on URL copy also came on later. So what I'm trying to highlight here is, initially the button thing was not there, that URL copy or download image. I didn't thought about how we are gonna do it, how I am gonna do it. So I thought, let me add buttons. So I have added buttons. Now where shall I add button, on the top, on the bottom, here, there? That is also a decision making came. And with that, one extra new feature came, that when I'm doing copy URL, how the user will get to know the URL got copied. So I have to add this one more component, URL copied also. Though you will say it's a small feature, but I would highly encourage you to add here. The reason is, once you are done with the phase one and you are having self-doubt that how come I have taken so many weeks or weekends or month to finish phase one, you can look back and feel very proud that, oh, I actually did all these features implementation, and few of the features were not even initially estimated by you. They came as you started moving ahead in your project. So that's why I do this a lot. My all side projects work like this. And then let's talk about the phase 2. For me, phase 2 is all about, once my project is out there, now what I wanted to do. So I have done the analytics already. Image URL, I was working on this. So right now I'm on phase 2. These are the environment file variables I need to manage, how I'm gonna do the SEO, light and dark mode. Accessibility testing, I have already done the basic one, but I have to go more into that. Right now it is not responsive. And this is what I wanted to highlight here, that I was not chasing the perfect. I wanted to make it work on desktop first, and in phase 2 I will handle the responsiveness. My test cases, performance testing, these things I have put in phase 2. Another thing I wanted to highlight is about the code cleaning. If I will be focusing on phase 1 on code quality, I might not be able to ship so many features, but I knew that I have to clean the code. So right now this is going on, and I'm also aware of it. That's why it is here. And again, the same thing, I'm not chasing the perfectness in this phase 1. I wanted to do it first. I wanted to implement the idea, make my idea work, make my code work, and then I can work on the quality of the code, UI of the code, logo of the code, and so on. Now here I have goal 3. Now there's a difference between phase and goal. Till phases, I want to implement the things which I am already comfortable with, and with the goal is basically where I wanted to try out new things so that I can now start learning new things. Because till phase 2 I have implemented my initial idea of my side project. So now I have the room to experiment and to learn. But before that, I wanted to talk about the most important thing about the domain. I didn't bought my domain till I was done with my whole phase 1. And what I actually did is, once my phase 1 is done, I deployed the code on Amplify. Amplify provide a URL which you can actually access publicly. So you don't need a domain name. That URL you can access from anywhere. So once my phase 1 is done, I deployed my code there. There were few prod issues I was facing, so I was working on fixing those. And then I started sharing with my friends, just they can have a look, and that's it. And once I was happy with that, then I went ahead and purchased the domain, because till then I was 100% confident that now my project is ready to go out. Then I purchased the domain, put my analytics, mapped my domain, and made it public. So I am very happy that this time, instead of purchasing my domain as a step 1, I did it only once my code was already deployed, and now it was ready to be mapped with the domain. So I'm pretty happy about that. So this is what I wanted to highlight, so that I will have less guilt about this. Now talking about the goal 3, as I mentioned that I have already deployed it on Amplify. So now what I wanted to do is, I wanted to try different deployment processes. So Elastic Beanstalk, I wanted to do it through script or Terraform, CloudFormation. So these things I wanted to try. Then I wanted to set up the whole pipeline. Test cases should be there. E2E list prettier should be there. Instead of, right now my image generation is through Node server, but I wanted to move that to S3 if I wanted to save there. I wanted to check how I can do logging, monitoring, cost, analytics, all this. Also, I was just thinking about, what if the image we are generating, if I wanted to have rounded borders or shadow or something like that kind of option I can give. and then go much deeper into accessibility. If there is something, do performance check, and mobile view I already mentioned. So for me, goal means now I can start experimenting new things, I can start learning and playing with it. So this is how I actually, this is my framework of doing my side projects and making sure that I am publishing. Having said that, it's not like that I am very pro. There are so many projects I'm still working on. I have a full-time job, so managing my work and my side project is not easy. So what I do is, um, these phases actually help me a lot. The reason is one more important thing which I actually read in a book. There was one book I was reading, and in that it was suggested. In fact, a lot of productive books, if you read, they suggest write it down everything. So what I also do is I write down everything, and that's why I mentioned this done. If you will see on ongoing, what it means is that after 4 days, if I'm coming back on my this code or this project, I don't need to remember that where was I last time. I can just see, okay, clean the code ongoing, this is where I'm working, and I start my work from there onwards. So this is what I do when I work on multiple my side projects. I keep this file, for me, is my brain of the project, where I keep everything, track everything, and juggling between projects actually helped me a lot. So yeah, this is about my journey of building my side projects. Let me know in comments what is your way, and let me know if it helps you, or if your way also, just share how you do it. I might, if your way is pretty good, I might get few ideas, because right now I'm also working on another side project, which is a React Native app. So might be I will pick your ideas and start implementing there, and let you know if that's working for me or not, or if this frameworks work for you, not like 100%, but if there are few things work for you, please let me know. It would be very helpful. So take care, all the best, bye.